Hello dear students. So welcome to the fifth session of root words. So with the help of root words you can develop a good vocab, right? So let's start with today's root word. So IG, IL, IM or IN, ig, il, im or in. Okay. So the meaning of this root is without. So meaning of all these roots are without, right? So illegal. What does it mean? It means something that is against the law, right? Contrary to the law, something which is not legal, and just the opposite of illegal is legal, right? Fine, it's quite easy to remember. Then impossible, see here we get IL, here we get IM, the root IM. So impossible, of course, it means something that is not possible, unthinkable, unimaginable. These are the synonyms, right? Impractical, something that is not quite practical. Paradoxical, inconceivable, right? That which cannot be conceived, right? And just the opposite of impossible is practical, something which is practical or feasible, rational, possible, right? Inappropriate means not appropriate, right? The other synonyms are unsuitable, unfitting, ill-suited, right? Unbecoming, improper, indecorous, right? So just the opposite of inappropriate is suitable, something that is quite suitable, proper or appropriate, right? So inappropriate का मतलब क्या है? Unsuitable, right? Understood? Next, inter means between, among or jointly, right? Together, jointly. International, that is involving two or more countries. We all know the meaning of international, right? That is involving, it may involve two countries or it may involve more than two countries, fine. An international treaty means it can be between two countries or among a few countries, like more than two countries, among 3, 4, 5 or n number of countries, fine. Next is intersection. So you can have a look at the picture here. Intersection, it means place where roads come together. So this is an intersection, right? Most of you have come across such an intersection in your daily life, right? So this is a 4-point crossing and it is an intersection, right? So here the roads are coming together to form an intersection of roads, right? Intercept, what does the word intercept means? Intercept actually means to stop or interrupt the course of something. Synonyms are interrupt, hinder, stop or prevent, right? That is, you are interrupting someone in his speech, intercepting someone, fine. Suppose कोई बात कर रहा है और स्पीच दे रहा है, ठीक है, तो उसके बीच आपने उनको रोका, fine. So that is you are hindering or interrupting him, fine, that is intercept. Next, intra or intro means within or inside. Intrastate, those of you who have friends or who have friends working in banks, right, or those of you who are already working somewhere in any bank, private sector bank or public sector bank, so you must be knowing of this term intrastate transfer, that is within the state, existing in one state. That is, intrastate transfer means suppose you are getting a joining in Assam and you are having intrastate transfer after 2 years, fine. That is, you will be posted somewhere in Assam itself, right, not in any other state. That is intrastate. And interstate, inter, it means involving more than one, right? Interstate means suppose you are having interstate transfer, then you may be transferred to some other state, right? That is interstate, and this is intrastate, that is within that particular state. Next, intravenous means inside or into a vein. See, I have added a picture of intravenous injection, means the fluid or liquid is, or the medicine, rather the medicine, the liquid medicine is injected in the vein, right? Intravenous injection, just like saline is given to people, right, to patients, so it is also intravenous. Introvert means shy person who keeps within himself or herself, right? Someone who is very shy, introvert. Just the opposite is extrovert, talkative person, right? Next, junct means join, right? Conjunction, a word that joins two sentences, parts of sentences, right? Here you have two sentences or two parts, you need a conjunction, right? So this is quite important if you are solving connectors, sentence connectors, right? Next, disjunction means a disconnection, right? Junction means a place where two things join, right? Suppose this is a metal plate and this is another metal plate, then you are forming a junction between these two, right? By welding means you are forming a joint between these two metals, right? Two metal plates. So this is the basic format of welding and and bridge construction, right? Next, leg or lex means to read or speak, fine. So legend means a myth or saga, right, or folk tale, right? Traditional story you can say, right? Traditional story, folk story. Suppose if you remember in your childhood, perhaps your grandmother or grandfather might have told you folk tales or folk stories, right, to make you sleep, right, in your childhood days. So that is legend, right? Next, lexicon, and just the opposite of legend is reality, something that is actually in real, right? A real story you can say. Next, lexicon means dictionary, fine, dictionary. Next, lectern. What is a lectern? It is a reading desk, right? Suppose you must have seen in some offline coaching centers or classes, there is a desk here, right? And the teacher stands here, fine. The teacher stands here, there is a microphone, right, mic, and this is a desk, so you can call it a lectern, right? And students sit here in their benches, right, in their desks. So students sit here, fine. So and this is the teacher and this is the lectern, reading desk, right? You can place the book here and read, fine. Next, lecture means lesson, fine. You are listening to someone's lecture, the teacher's lecture, right? Lesson. Legible. Legible का मतलब क्या है? What is the meaning of legible? Means comprehensible, easy to read. Something that is legible means you are able to read it, right? Sometimes you all know, sometimes my handwriting is quite illegible, incomprehensible. So just the opposite is illegible or incomprehensible. You are unable to read. So what is this? This is an illegible writing. Can you understand the meaning of it? Can you decipher, right? Do you know the meaning of these symbols? Do you know the meaning of these alphabets? Not symbols, these are alphabets. So this is basically Hebrew alphabets, okay? So I have taken this example just to make you understand. We often say, right, it's appearing Hebrew to me, right? Hebrew means it is a quite difficult language. So these are the Hebrew alphabets, fine. So if you don't know Hebrew, then it will be illegible, right? You cannot read it. You can you comprehend? Can you comprehend the meaning of this? Do you know the meaning of these alphabets? No, because it will seem illegible to you because you don't know Hebrew, right? So Hebrew, Greek, these are a bit tough languages, but the thing is that if you don't know, then it will seem illegible, fine. For example, if you are from Gujarat, you know Gujarati language, right? You know Hindi, okay, you may know English, but if you are coming to West Bengal, if you are going to Assam, you don't know Assamese language, right? You will not be able to decipher, you will not be able to comprehend Bengali language, Assamese language, or if you go to Orissa, you will not be able to comprehend Oriya language if you don't know, right? So that is illegible, that will become illegible to you. So LOCU, locu, alright, log, leaks, logi. So these root words mean speak or speech, fine. Loquacious means talkative, someone who is very talkative is a loquacious person, right? He talks much, right? ज़्यादा बात करता है, ठीक है ना? कोई इंसान जो ज़्यादा बात करता है, he or she is loquacious. Garrulous, voluble, over talkative, wordy. These are the synonyms, and just the opposite is reticent or taciturn. Reticence. Pardon, my mistake. Reticent. Sorry, it is reticent. Reticent means reserved, right? The meaning of reticent is reserved, someone who is very reserved, less talkative. Fine. You can say introvert. Reticent का एक और मतलब है introvert, जो ज़्यादा बात नहीं करता या ज़्यादा बात करना पसंद नहीं करता, ठीक है ना. Someone who is less talkative, introvert. Or taciturn. So just the opposite of loquacious is reticent and taciturn, that is reserved. Someone who is reserved in speech, जो कम बात करता है, ठीक है ना. तो eloquent means persuasive or expressive, articulate, fluent, strong, forceful, powerful. Persuasive means you are able to persuade someone to do something, right? Fine. Eloquent, just the opposite is inarticulate, right? So if someone gives a persuasive speech, means he is able to turn you towards his way of thinking. जो suppose there is Mr. X एक speech दे रहे हैं, ठीक है, और उनका speech persuasive है, ठीक है. इसका मतलब क्या है, जो Mr. X सोच रहा है, आपको भी वही सोच, आपके ऊपर भी वही सोच इम्पोज कर रहा है, और एंड यू आर गेटिंग व्हाट टू से, यू आर गेटिंग परसुएडेड बाय हिम, मतलब आप भी वही सोच रहे हैं जो वो सोच रहा है, ठीक है ना. सो दैट इज ही इज परसुएडिंग यू इनटू थिंकिंग इन हिज वे, राइट. नेक्स्ट, डायलॉग, कॉन्वर्सेशन, टॉक, कम्युनिकेशन और डिस्कोर्स. डायलॉग, राइट, conversation between persons or among persons. Prologue means introduction, foreword, preface. Prelude, prologue means introduction, and just the opposite is epilogue, right? Conclusion. Fine. Grandiloquent. What is the meaning of grandiloquent? It means pompous, or you can say in simple terms, high flown language, right? Bombastic language, bombastic. Magneloquent, another synonym. Pretentious, rhetorical, ostentatious, grandiloquent, right? Pompous. Analogous. What is the meaning of analogous? Something that is comparable. So if you are an SSC aspirant, you must have come across such questions, right? Which is analogous to this, right? So in reasoning, in general intelligence portion, analogy related questions are often asked in SSC exams or in railway exams or in PSC exams, right? Generally in banking exams they do not ask in the reasoning portion, but in SSC exams or railway exams, in the general awareness, in the general intelligence, that is GI reasoning portion, they often ask this type of questions based on analogy. Analogy means something that can be things, there are two things, suppose there are two things, these can be compared, means these are analogous. Fine. Comparable, parallel, similar, like or corresponding. Fine. Analogous. And just the opposite is unrelated, dissimilar. Two items are unrelated, they are not similar, means they are not analogous. Fine. So analogous का मतलब क्या है? Something things that are comparable. If you are SSC or railway aspirant, you must be knowing analogy based questions पूछते हैं reasoning section में, general intelligence में. Fine. Next is prolix. It is actually referring to a speech or writing, right? A speech or writing, okay, containing too many words. Fine. Something that is very lengthy, tedious, right? Lengthy, tediously lengthy, or lengthy, you can say long winded, okay, very lengthy, right? Prolix, because you can see in banking exams, banking mains, the RC, the passages, reading comprehension is quite lengthy, right? Fine, quite lengthy. Next, last, luck or lum, okay. LUS, LUC, LUM means shine, something that has a shine or something that shines. So illustrate means serve an example of something. Fine. Exemplify. Lustrous means shiny or shining. Satiny, right? Satiny means something that is quite shiny. You must be knowing satin is a shining, satin has a shining texture, right? Satin. Then glossy, gleaming, burnished or polished, right? Lustrous, something that shines. And just the opposite is dull. Fine. Lustrous, metals have a lustrous surface. See, silver, copper, iron and gold, they have a shine, right? If you ordered a ring, right? Fine. Suppose this is a ring, and when you are getting the delivery of this ring, you will see the silver is, if it is made of silver, it is highly lustrous, means it shines brilliantly, because they have already polished it, right? The shine is from the polish. So copper, iron, silver and gold, these are shining metals, fine, lustrous, fine. And see, on the other hand, diamond, it is also lustrous, it is shining, right? Next, lucid means intelligible, comprehensible, quite easy to understand, isn't it? Means understandable. Are you getting my point? Cogent or coherent, right? And incoherent means that cannot be understood. So lucid का opposite incoherent भी होगा यहाँ पे, ambiguous, confusing or incoherent, that is something that cannot be understood, incoherent, right? Pellucid, easily understood, easily grasped, you can grasp it, understand it, comprehensible, understandable, similar. Translucent means semi-transparent, fine, through which, suppose this is a translucent object or shield, through this translucent shield light can pass, fine. Transparent means anything can pass through it, right? Transparent means clearly visible, and translucent means partially visible, translucent, right? You have seen ground glass, right? Ground glass, you must have window panes having ground glass, मतलब जिस शीशे में से आपको क्लियरली दिखाई नहीं देगा, ठीक है ना, ग्राउंड ग्लास, फाइन. It will be white in texture, right? Ground glass, so it is translucent, fine. Light can pass through it partially, fine. Colorless, pellucid, diaphanous, these are the synonyms of translucent, and opaque is the antonym. Opaque means through which light cannot pass, fine. Elucidate means to make clear, right? Means you are explaining, illuminating, right? You throw some light on a topic. Throw some light on a topic means you are explaining a topic, fine. See, I am throwing some light on root words, right? On vocabs means I am explaining root words, vocabs, fine. Clarify. And elucidate का opposite है confuse or obscure, fine, preventing someone from understanding something. Illuminate means throw light on, clarify, elucidate, similar, fine. And in other words, illuminate means to enlighten, fine, or to light, or suppose you are illuminating an object, means you are lighting an object, right? Or switching on, illuminate, the room is the room is illuminated means you have switched on the lights of the room, or the room is filled with light, right? And just the opposite is conceal, fine, hide, right? Elude, elus means to play, allude means suggest, hint at something, imply, mention. Collude means to conspire, right? Intrigue. And just the opposite of collude is forget or neglect, fine. Collude means to conspire, right? Next, delude means mislead, you are misleading someone, fine, deceiving someone, fine. Hoodwink, dupe, trick, fool, you are befooling someone, right? Delude means you are befooling someone, fine, befooling someone. Next is elude. These are quite common words, right, in banking exams. Allude, collude, delude, elude. Elude means to get away from, fine. Evade, the thief evaded escape, right? Means he avoided escape, the thief evaded arrest and escaped. So the thief evaded arrest means he escaped from he avoided being arrested and escaped, right? The thief evaded arrest and escaped. The thief evaded arrest and escaped, fine. The thief evaded arrest and escaped. I know sometimes my handwriting is quite illegible, so I am reading it out. The thief evaded arrest and escaped. Means the thief tricked or fled from the police, right? Dodged his arrest. Fine. They could not catch him. And just the opposite is be caught. Fine. The thief was caught. Elusive means evasive. Similar from it comes from elude itself. Evasive, slippery, shifty, illusion. Fine. Elusive. Fine. Next is interlude means interval, intermission, break, recess, pause, respite. So it's quite common. Interlude का मतलब break. Fine. Recess, recess time. Fine. आपको तो पता ही होगा स्कूल में रिसेस टाइम होता था, कॉलेज में भी रिसेस टाइम होता था. सो इट इज़ अ ब्रेक और इंटरमिशन. और इंटरवल यू कैन से इंटरमिशन, मूवी हॉल में आप मूवी देखते हैं, बीच में आपका इंटरमिशन आता है. फाइन. नेक्स्ट, सो एंटोनिम इज कंटिन्यूएशन और बिगिनिंग. फाइन. ludicrous means absurd, quite ridiculous, right? Preposterous or foolish. Fine. Ludicrous means absurd. Fine. Someone who is very foolish, ridiculous, right? Fit to be ridiculed, right? Absurd. Just the opposite is sensible. Someone who is very sensible person. Fine. Next is prelude or preliminary. It means preliminary, right? Overture, opening, preparation, introduction, start or harbinger, right? Harbinger, quite an important word. Harbinger. ठीक है ना, harbinger. Just the opposite of prelude is conclusion or completion. Fine. Ending. Are you understanding? Prelude means opening or introduction, and just the opposite is conclusion, ending. Fine. So don't forget this word, harbinger. Fine. Next is magna or max. Fine. M-A-G-N, M-A-G-N-A, M-A-S or M-A-X, max. It means great or big. Magnate, a wealthy and influential businessman or businesswoman. Business tycoon हम कहते हैं ना, मुकेश अंबानी is a business tycoon. Fine. Magnate, industrialist, mogul, financier. Fine. A wealthy and influential businessman. Fine. Just the opposite is spawn. Opposite of magnate is spawn. Fine. Next, magnitude. It means immensity, vastness, hugeness, enormity. The magnitude of destruction was huge. Fine. The magnitude is quite big. Magnitude of the earthquake means the intensity of the earthquake. भूकंप का इंटेंसिटी बहुत ज़्यादा था. इसका मतलब है magnitude of the earthquake was quite huge, right? Magnitude. And just the opposite is smallness or triviality. Fine. Majesty means dignity. Majestic, a majestic palace, magnificent palace, magnificence, majesty, pomp, solemnity, grandeur, splendor. Fine. Just the opposite is modest, tawdry, uninspiring. Modest means what to say? Modest means something that that is just the opposite of magnificent. Means it looks normal, right? Quite what to say? Someone who is appearing modest means he is appearing poor, right? Poor. Modest. He is appearing means मतलब उसका ड्रेसिंग सेंस ऐसा है कि वो मॉडेस्ट है, मतलब इज क्वाइट नॉर्मल, मीन्स आम आदमी टाइप. एंड मैग्निफिसेंट, ऑफ कोर्स, ग्रैंडर, मैग्निफिसेंट. ही हैज अ मैग्निफिसेंट पैलेस मीन्स ही हैज अ what to say, he has a majestic palace, right? Fine. Majestic palace. Next, magnificent. Just now I said moments back. Superb, spectacular, splendid, sumptuous. Fine. Beautiful, grand. Magnificent means grand, right? Like hotel, park or Taj Bengal, you can say. Fine. These are magnificent, right? Magnificent buildings. Fine. The Taj Mahal is a magnificent piece of work. Means it is spectacular, superb, splendid. Fine. Magnus opus, what is the meaning of magnus opus? You may have come across this word. It means crowning achievement, means masterpiece or master stroke, masterpiece. A masterpiece related एक स्टोरी मुझे याद है, स्कूल के दिनों में ये था. It was his masterpiece, The Last Leaf. If you have read the book, sorry, the story, The Last Leaf, if you have not gone through this, please do read it. Okay, The Last Leaf. So The Last Leaf was a masterpiece. The last leaf which he had painted is a masterpiece. Those who have read it will understand what I am trying to say. The Last Leaf. Please read. If it is available, please read The Last Leaf. Wonderful story. Next is Magnanimous. Means generous, charitable, benevolent, beneficent or open-handed. Someone who is very generous. He donates for people's welfare, right? He donates money, he donates food, clothes. Means he is generous or charitable. Someone who does charity, right? Mean-spirited is just the opposite. Means quite selfish. He is not generous, quite selfish, right? A selfish person. And magnanimous means charitable, generous or selfless, right? Benevolent. Magnify means enlarge. You are magnifying something. Magnifying glass, right? Magnifying glass means it enlarges, right? Magnify means boost, enlarge, enhance, maximize, increase. Means amplify something, right? Intensify something, expand, extend, augment. Means किसी का इंटेंसिटी बढ़ा देना, ठीक है ना. मैग्नीफाइंग ग्लास, इसका फंक्शन क्या है? It enables you to have a look at the microscopic organisms, microorganisms like bacteria, fine, paramecium. So मैग्नीफाइंग ग्लास का फंक्शन ही वो है. So इनफैक्ट मैग्नीफाइंग ग्लास से हम लोगों को छोटा चीज़ बड़ा दिखने को मिलता है. फाइन, a small thing becomes, and what I was saying about magnifying glass, it is actually a microscope, right? माइक्रोस्कोप के हेल्प से ही हमको माइक्रोस्कोपिक ऑर्गेनिजम्स, दैट इज माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स दिखता है. सो इट इज नॉट एक्चुअली मैग्नीफाइंग ग्लास, rather you can say it carries out a huge magnification. Means it enlarges, it maximizes the size of that microorganism. So माइक्रोस्कोप का फंक्शन क्या होता है? माइक्रोस्कोप, सो मेरा क्लास 12 में बायोलॉजी था, सो इसलिए थोड़ा बहुत ये माइक्रोस्कोप का जो डायग्राम है ये मैं ड्रॉ कर सकता हूँ. सो दिस इज अ माइक्रोस्कोप, अ स्लाइड इज प्लेस्ड हियर. माइक्रोस्कोप के नीचे below it a slide is placed, and here is the glass, right? Magnifying glass, you can say in simple terms, because it magnifies the size of the bacteria, right? So with the help of the microscope we can see the microorganisms with our naked eye, right? We place the eye here and we can see, fine, we can see the microorganisms with the help of the glass, right, which is placed there, and it actually acts as a magnifying glass because it magnifies, it enlarges the microorganisms. So microscope का function ही वही है. You can see the bacteria or you can see the paramecium, fine. So just the opposite of magnifying, magnify is reduce. Magnifying something, just the opposite is reducing something. Next is magniloquent, similar to grandiloquent, means high sounding, high flown, right? You can say bombastic. You know this person, right? Who is he? Mr. Shashi Tharoor. He often uses bombastic words, doesn't he? He uses bombastic words in his speech, right, in his tweets, right? Bombastic words, magniloquent, fine. So many of you must have heard this word What is it? What is the pronunciation? Floccinaucinihilipilification. So the pronunciation is floccinaucinihilipilification. So what is the meaning? The meaning is the action or habit of estimating something as worthless, right? You are considering someone or something as worthless, मतलब उसका कुछ value ही नहीं है. So that is what we call floccinaucinihilipilification. So such type of words are quite bombastic words, right? High sounding, you can say, right? Ornate, right? High sounding, high flown words. So Mr. Shashi Tharoor often uses such kind of words in his tweets or speech. So this is an example of bombastic word, right? Magneloquent, grandiloquent, and crisp or terse is just the opposite of magniloquent. Means crisp means quite simple, right? Keep it simple. And please do remember, do not if you are giving a speech, right, try not to use such bombastic words, right? आपका जो स्पीच है वो सबको समझ में आना चाहिए, right? The layman should also understand what you are trying to say, what you are trying to deliver, right? Master means experience. You have mastered the art of or to say you have mastered the art of karate or the art of sword fighting. Means you are quite experienced in it, right? Mastered karate, judo, sword fighting, right? So means you have a hell lot of experience in it. So this was all for the 5th session. So let's meet on the next session, and in the next session also we'll go through a new variety of root words, and we'll try to understand the meaning of those words which can be formed from those roots. So in this way your vocab will definitely improve, right? So if you are going through this video, if you are having any difficulty, feel free to comment, feel free to reach out to me. I am always available, and the thing is that actually I am always available to any student, because students should be able to contact the teacher, right? Fine. For any doubt or query, for any doubt related to English current affairs, please do reach out to me. Fine, you can just post your query in the comment section also. Fine, we will read it, the admin will read it and convey the message to me. Fine. So in this way you can grasp the root words and also develop a good vocab. Fine. So root word approach is the best approach, I feel, to develop a good vocab. So it will be quite helpful or beneficial for your upcoming mains exams. Fine. If you are having any difficulty while going through this video for the first time, please do go through this video, watch this video for the second, third, n number of times, no issue, right? Increase the speed at 1.25x speed. You can watch this video again and again, so that the words and their meanings get embedded in your memory. Fine. So please do subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed. So फिर मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट सेशन में, रूट वर्ड्स का नेक्स्ट सेशन में फिर मिलते हैं. So till then, please do take care, stay home and stay safe. God bless you guys.